In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with all of you a stock that is about to explode very soon and why you should keep it in your watch list for tomorrow. We're also going to look at the overall market to get y'all ready as always. All right, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got QQQ. And in yesterday's video, I told you guys about the structure that I saw on the 1 hour time frame with QQQ from right here. The ascending triangle was there. The FOMC was the cause for the breakouts. This thing went and it went all the way up to, it went beyond 448. All right. It went beyond 448. And I thought it could go even a little bit higher towards 450. It really tried. Like during the day, it tried to grind it out and just it tried to push through, but it couldn't get above these individuals. There were some short sellers right here, causing more selling pressure. Also, people are taking profits. It rolled around the top with extremely low volume before everything started to collapse in the afternoon. All right. Now, I was expecting for this specific structure, I was expecting the top to be between 448 and 450. So right now, things are not looking to, how do I say this? We're either going to play games again and not go anywhere, or we're going to pull back quite aggressively. Because these individuals, there's still some people who haven't taken their money off the table. Right now, the futures are a little bit negative. All right. I don't know if we're gonna open up at like negative 0.30 or negative 0.40% tomorrow morning. If that's the case, that will cause more fear into the hearts of anybody who are greedy, right? Because if they haven't sold when the stock when this ETF was consolidating near the top, if it opens up lower, then they will just try to get out with whatever they have, which will cause the thing to go down even further. So that's my interpretation of QQQ. Looking at the SPY, that one I don't think it's gonna make it up to 527.50. I do have an alert right on top of this thing. Like we're gonna zoom in into the 5 minute. So this is how it behaved. It went up here, tried to grind through 524, and then it formed a descending triangle intraday with the breakdown being right here, along with a lot of other tech stocks that were showing a similar structure and provided a day trade to the downside, right? And right now it's again a retest of this line would not surprise me at all. I'm leaning a little bit more towards a pullback versus a long because of what? Because QQQ kind of over exceeded my expectations. So that's my thoughts on it. I have to lean a little bearish. I have to lean a little bit bearish, but we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Now, this stock, it is set to explode tomorrow. That stock is UPS. All right. Now with UPS, this one it went up crazy after hours because FedEx reported earnings today. And for those of you who are familiar with the stock market, typically when 2 or 3 stocks are in the same sector, they tend to kind of move together. Not exactly the same path, but similar paths. Like kind of like the semiconductor stocks, and this one obviously this is the shipping companies, U.S. mail. So as you can see, FedEx crushed earnings. It's at $300. I want y'all to do one thing. I want y'all to set an alert above 301, and then you're gonna wait for that bell to ring tomorrow. Okay, like I always say with these situations, the calls, at least the ones that are in the money, those are gonna be probably positive 400%, maybe 500% out the gates, which is not too crazy. All right, if the stock went way up to like 350, then I wouldn't be making a video about it. But since it's looking like it's a bullish version of that Adobe thing that I showed you guys a few days ago. Adobe had earnings and there was more room to make to the downside. It's a similar situation, but obviously we're going up. All right, so what you're gonna look for is either we're opening up here at around 297, and then we see a big green candle with good volume at the bottom. Volume that are as high as what we've seen during the closing minutes of today's session. Like volume as high as 200,000 in like 5 minutes. That's kind of what you want to look for. A solid green candle for the potential move higher towards 315. If that occurs, obviously UPS is going to follow suit, and UPS is going to go all the way up towards 166. The first 5 minute is really, really crucial. It is. So just pay attention to that. That way you don't get caught. That way you don't get caught going the wrong way if the stock turns out to pull one of these massive red candle here, setting up for an all-day fader. It could happen. We're looking for a green candle, first 5 minute green candle. Okay, now another stock that I want to share with all of you, this one is for the bears. All right, and I think again, since I'm leaning a little bit more bearish, especially on like QQQ, I think that the bearishness in the indices will drag this stock down, which is Lulu. All right. Now, this one, similar scenario as Adobe. For those of y'all who have been subscribed to the channel, I gave y'all good, solid day trading opportunity on Adobe to the short side. It performed really, really well. I was a little off with the bottom, but it got really, really close. Similar situation with this one. Again, we want the stock to open up near 430. Hopefully it plays some games. Maybe it shows a dragonfly doji out the gates. All right, and then the long traders get a little bit hopeful. We see the stock push up, and then immediately we see it flush down all the way down to 410 bucks, right? This type of move is what we want to see, right? But you gotta wait patiently, and you gotta wait patiently, especially if it presents like that. Similar scenario as we've seen in Adobe. The short entry would be somewhere around here. I don't like to go in crazy out the gates. I really, really don't like that. That's why I'm hoping for something like this. It's something real slow and then eventually rolls over. If the first candle is a massive red candle, then obviously this have to be shifted a little bit more to the left, or we just see a straight fade down. All right, but it's just the two ways that I see it. So these are the two stocks to keep on watch. That one is following suit with Nike. Yeah, Nike looks like that. Nike went down only by $5. Volatility is gonna kick into the stock. It doesn't really move that much intraday, but because it had earnings, tomorrow should be interesting. There is a gap to fill. Again, it's about to open up right below support, which is nice. Support is at 97 bucks. Right now, the stock is at $95. Best case scenario, we open up at 96. Let me change it to the 5-minute. And let me draw these things. So the gap stretches from way down here. There's a gap down here, by the way. Huge gap to fill. Now, best case scenario, again with the indices, which I think may be a little bearish tomorrow. All right, hopefully it is. Now, best case scenario is this. We open up at 96. We test it really rapidly. All right, maybe we test it like vertically like this in the first 5-minute. And then that 5-minute candle closes as a gravestone doji. And then we fade. We just fall down. We fall down with massive volume. And we fade all the way down to 90 bucks in one day. All right, that's what I'm expecting to see with Nike. The opportunities will be there. Just keep your eyes open, and most importantly, stay extremely patient. Now, in updates, congratulations to anybody who made money on Morgan Stanley. All right. This one was very straightforward. Again, like I said in that video, we trade simple things. Bullish pennant, entry right here, exit. It didn't quite go into the green circle. I'm not sure if it's actually gonna get in there. It might get in there next week. It might get there tomorrow morning, all right? But the most important thing is that the stock gave you all an opportunity to make money on this stock to the long side. So congratulations for anybody who was able to do so. The other stock was a little bit slow. I gave you all Disney. That one is taking its sweet time. So it didn't really do too much during the day. It just stayed stagnant and closed at the same price as it was yesterday. So yeah, that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks. And that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, remember, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way YouTube notifies you when I release these videos. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, we can get all of this information in real time as I see them, along with the trades that I take, and most importantly, the reason why I take the trades that I take to begin with. That way y'all get to learn along the way. You can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul Nguma, the Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in Sunday night's video.